Holy sugar. I'm sorry.
It's
But there
okay.
were people in the chat. That's weird.
That is weird.
Okay.
How does that
Yeah.
happen?
I don't know. That's so weird. People are like, are you on?
Mercury retrograde. Mercury
Yeah.
retrograde is
Okay, well, I see us now on my laptop. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Okay.
I'll tell you
Um,
what happened. We're human.
yeah. Okay.
And technology is still technology. So hey.
Hi guys. Yeah. Pink Luscious Pink Lush. I don't know what happened. I wonder if we got kicked off. Okay, well, we're live now. So um
It's a hot Saturday night with me and Alex. Welcome aboard, guys. We've been here for a long time,
yeah.
but now all of a sudden all the bells and maybe that was like our what do I
Our
want to call
overload.
them?
But how are people why were people in the chat?
I have
Maybe
no idea.
they just were waiting and they saw the chat going on without video. That's weird.
Okay. So I'm going to say for a PM, I know you've been here, 11 Experience, you've been here, Antonio Jones, you've been here. For those of you, and if one of you could comment, what did you see in here that probably been an hour that maybe other people didn't see? Because I'm not, that way we don't have, maybe the next time, Alex, we'll have a better understanding of what the hell just
Yeah.
happened here.
That's so weird. That's I apologize for that. I
The
feel so
chat was
crazy.
live, but not the video, she says.
Yeah, so we could see each other, but I didn't hit go live. I apologize. That's on me. That's on me.
This was practice, Alex. It was good practice. That's all.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. And Nicole, if you have to go, by all means, please don't let me hold you up for my Mercurian blunder. So that was my fault, guys. I didn't hit go live. Myself and Nicole see each other, and we've been speaking to each other, and we've been seeing the chat. Kind of, people asking questions, and we've been answering questions that you guys couldn't see. So, Nicole, are you okay to keep going?
Oh,
How do you?
yeah.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
my my kid hasn't come out here to go, "Mom, I'm starved," or something crazy. The dog's still outside, and I might have to get some more tea or something, but other than that, we're set to roam here. It's a hot Saturday night with me and Alex.
Okay. Yeah, they're saying they just got notification. My apologies, guys. That's on me.
Well, then,
That's on
hey,
me.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to see me. Hold on a second, let me answer something. Hold on. Can you see me or no?
I can see you. Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if I did this, if it would, um, do anything.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Pink Lush. And Pink Lush, we done answered all kinds of questions for you, and you couldn't even see them. I didn't see anything but your picture. Okay, love you both. We love you too, and thank you for sticking around. And I
Yeah,
apologize for the confusion.
that's interesting. Alex, I mean, I don't know about you, and I'm just gonna throw this out there to you. I wouldn't mind doing this maybe once a month just to kind of catch up with you and everybody else. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, it's always going to depend your schedule, my schedule, and what the hell's going on in life. But
yeah, sure.
now we
So
know.
let me know when you're ready to tap out. Okay.
I'm good. Listen, I
Okay.
could do this all day. This is my happy place.
I know, me too. This is my therapy. So people are wanting to know who you is. So I'm gonna
You
reintroduce you. This
you
is my
do
girl.
the thing. You do the
This is
thing.
Nicole from Path of Enlightenment. All right. She's awesome. She has her own YouTube channel. She's an incredible intuitive. She's talked me off of many alleges, many alleges. So she's here, and both of us are here to answer your questions. So I'm just gonna pause to say thank you, Nicole. Again, I apologize.
No
Ask
worries.
you, yeah, to if there's anything you'd like to say to the gang.
So I don't know. You just, one, Alex, Alex and I were chit-chatting and talked about doing something like this, and she has been the orchestrator of getting all this set up, and no need to apologize for whatever technology was not conveying to us so that we knew, right? But now we know. So thank you too. I actually meant to tell you this earlier. Thank you for taking the time because as we know, my schedule's been goofy. To set this up and get things rolling because without you, it wouldn't have happened tonight. So I appreciate you very, very much for that. And
Yeah.
then to anybody out there, if you are not a member of my channel or you've not subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. I read for all of the signs, primarily Scorpio. Scorpio, though, I'm not going to fib, but channel memberships are open. I do personal readings. I do Reiki. I do past life regression. I do intuitive life coaching. So just about anything. I've been in this business for 35 years. Lots and lots of years of talking with spirit and connecting with my guides and having the blessing of connecting with people like Alex and colleagues along the way that we share our gifts with one another and try to help do our part in the world. So, again, thank you, Alex, for having me this evening. And I hope that we come across some great questions.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for your patience. And anyway, I'm gonna get over it and give
It's
myself grace.
passive. And I'm going to say real quickly, I said channel name. It says Path of Enlightenment Tarot. Path of Enlightenment Tarot is the channel.
Yeah. And if you click on the description for this video, all of Nicole's contact information is in the description. Okay. So, Maisha, we did answer your question.
I lost
Um,
track. Everybody's chiming in now.
yeah,
Ooh, shit.
yeah,
I
I
need
know. You see it now, right? It's rolly scrolly. Okay.
a.
So what we're gonna do, I think we should maybe follow the same format.
Okay.
Um, just pick questions out of the chat. And are you okay to take the next leg or?
Sure. I don't care.
Okay. Okay, so I apologize again, guys. We're gonna go through the chat. If for some reason I don't get to your question, please feel free to ask it again. Please be patient. We'll try to get to everyone. Okay, so thank you, my lovelies. My question is there anything I need to know from spirit? I've been going through a transformation, and that's the love below.
Hmm. I will tell you that you're handling spirit's wanting you to know how gracefully you're handling these transitions that you're going through. I want to tell you, and spirit wants me to tell you, if you went back a year ago, however you are gracefully moving through this, a year ago, you probably would have had a meltdown. Um, Kicking, screaming, heels in the dirt, don't take me now, God, kind of thing. Um, but you seem to be adjusting spirit beautifully to something that you didn't see coming. You really didn't. Um, they're using the term 4 ways to Sunday. Okay. To me, I'm wanting to count back to Thursdays, and I don't know why that. I don't know if there's a certain I'm gonna call it a ritual. So I don't know. Like I tell people all the time, hell, brushing your teeth is a ritual. Um, but there's something. Look, as I say that, there comes the Tower and the Three of Swords and the Moon. You're gonna keep digging some stuff up, um, that you didn't even know existed. And I think that it's fair to say a lot of people will compare healing to the layers of an onion, right? You go deeper and deeper, and next thing you know, you're deeper than you thought you could be. Um, but this is also learning some very significant boundaries. I don't know what sign you are, but I did a video for Scorpio not long ago, and I was like, it said something to the effect of, I don't want to. And it's okay to say, I don't want to. So, whatever this is, this tower, this Three of Swords, if someone's putting something off on you to have to accept, and you say, I don't want to, you don't have to. But spiritually, do know that you are moving in a forward facing position, and they want you to keep moving.
Sweet. Thank you. Um, moving on to um trying to figure out who that was. Okay.
The
So
love,
this is
the love
from
below.
this is from 11 experience. Should I continue with CC or should I join the Matrix? That's 11 experience.
Dare I be so Scorpio?
Go
Fuck
for it.
the fuck the Matrix.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. I never saw the movie in full.
You know what? I watched, look at this. All I did was split the deck open. I said, like, Spirit, give me a card.
Yeah.
Go in 13 and 9, right? 9 of Pentacles, go your own way. Go
Yeah.
your own way. If it's set, like, I'm gonna tell you, growing up, if everybody was wearing bell bottoms, I was finding something else. I was wearing corduroy. Like, someone goes, I'm going this way because everybody else is doing this. I'm going the other way just to make a scene because I can. Like, I'm gonna make some drama around it. I'm just going the other way because I want someone to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. Shock factor, 100%. So whatever CC and the matrix means to you, if everybody else is toeing the line, these are the rules. Darling, move the other direction. Keep moving. Keep going.
Wonderful. Meditational Moments says her mom just passed away. We're so sorry to hear that. She wants to know if you could communicate any messages from her mom.
Sure. First off, the letters E and M immediately come through. So MEEM, I'm not quite sure what sequence is what I'm hearing, what sequence those fall in for her. Can I get mom's first name only though?
Okay, Meditational Moments. Can you type your mom's name in the chat? Michelle.
Michelle. I say ME. There you go. I want you to, I don't know, I don't want to say that this was a sudden departure, but there's something about that, honoring her work and her legacy as well. Um, how do I explain this? Hold on a second, bear with me. I don't know. I'm going to call her a performer of sorts. And when I say that, this could just be by personality, right? It doesn't mean she was out singing and dancing or whatever. I mean, she could have, but, um, Alex used the term earlier about me when we were talking, like, people see my energy walking in the room before I got there. Larger than life personality, right? And that's how I feel about her. So there's something about honoring who she was. Um, she is in spirit, got the chills. She is passed over, like, and she is crossed, whether you want to call it purgatory, everybody's got their own belief system around that. But she has moved through that. There is, everybody's got, again, a different viewpoint on what happens after death. Um, there is like unfinished business on that side that she is handling. I'm hearing the term brother. So whether this was a child of hers, a brother of hers, or something, I don't know what that specifically represents that she's showing me, but there's unfinished business between the two of them. And that seems to be, I'm going to call it playing out, and there's soul contract there. So there's something about that energy that she is very specific to. Um, this literally, I've got, Alex, I think 4, 5 tarot decks. Again, a different deck. I just split it. There's the death card again. That's been 3 times now that I've pulled that out. Um, you may feel like her time was limited with you. Um, but she's saying you were all that she ever needed to understand what moved life, what moved life. Don't feel like, I don't know, it's very much about the honor with her. But it's funny, like, I feel like her time here on earth, and I know that we all have these troubles, but for her, it feels like she lived a good life, even if things were unexpected or something like that. Like, she's comfortable with the life that she lived. It's kind of funny because I would typically see the human experience here as the troublesome kind of thing because we're learning so much in this 3D body. And then we go to the other side, and that may be some peace where we figure some things out and then we come back and do it again. Um, but for her, it's kind of the opposite. Like, she somehow found peace here. So this could be a level of acceptance around something. But now that she's on the other side, it's almost like checks, spirits using the terms checks and balances. So it's like she's dealing with things that probably could have been dealt with here, but others weren't willing to step up to the plate. So I don't know how that all resonates for you, but that's what she's giving me. It's a lot.
Wow. Okay, that was meditational moments. If any of that resonated, please feel free to leave a comment of confirmation. Um, Moving on. How I got here, I love that. Wants to know, will I grow my YouTube channel for kids and TikTok for nails?
Can you repeat that to me one more time? I'm sorry.
Sure, it's okay. How I got here is the username.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to know, will I grow my YouTube channel for kids and TikTok for nails? Will I grow my YouTube channel and TikTok?
I really want to know what sign they are.
How I got here. So, do you need signs from everyone before
No,
they
I
answer
just
questions?
no, just this one
Okay,
because there's
how I got here. What's your sign?
um one of them's gonna work, the other one's not. Um, there's one that I feel like you need to put a timestamp on. It says, if this doesn't do X, Y, and Z by this point, it's like slapping an expiration sticker on it. Um, and not because you want to throw in the towel, but it's almost like one of those things that if you're going to open a business, you market it, right? Like you do something because it just makes sense because that's the way you would do it. Um, but don't just do that thing. Like, I feel like you're more inclined to kids. That's why I'm asking about the sign, honestly, is I do feel like you're going to be more tied to kids. So there's something about your sign or even a life path that says lean into the kids. Like, do nails. By all means, do nails. Make pretty pictures, make a portfolio or whatever nail people do. I don't know if like I'm just ignorant to the how that works. Um, but I feel like if you're a water sign or you've got significant water placement, you need to be working with kids and not like now say don't work with nails. That could be a side hustle or whatnot, but I don't think you need to dedicate a channel to that, is what I want to say.
Okay, wonderful.
So yeah.
Thank you. And Marilyn Gardner, we thank you so much for moderating. Do we want to talk through her trip to England again? Sorry, Nicole.
We can't. I said earlier, Marilyn, everything is always. Thank you to High Priestess, by the way. I just see she made a donation there, Alex. So thank
Yeah.
her for that very much. Marilyn, it's always an exciting time with her. She's always got something. I'm going to go back to what I mentioned earlier for her. There is going to be some very significant enlightenment to a person, I believe, situation. My spirit's presenting it to me. Watch your words, Marilyn. There's something about the words. I'm getting choked up all of a sudden. Watch the words. I don't think it's your words, it's somebody else's. They might choke you up. Um, temperamental energy. Careful with who you're dealing with. The trip itself delays, but it'll be fine. You'll come back with a new sense of purpose. Excuse me. Good grief.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. Thank you. That was okay. Um if you guys don't mind, can you ask more direct questions, right? What is in my near future? What does spirit see for me? These are such broad questions. If you guys can narrow it down to love, finances, and just something a lot more specific, that would be amazing. Okay. And I am so out of um, sorry, I'm just reading through the comments and I'm trying to make sure I try to get to everybody's.
Right,
Um,
right.
Jasmine James, I need to know, am I supposed to be using my spiritual gifts to help others, or are they here to help me with my mission?
Both.
Yeah, I was going to say yes.
Student and the teacher.
Come on. There she is.
No way.
There she is. Look,
She's like, love me. Love
you're
me.
not gonna bite me on camera? No? You're gonna be nice? You gonna bark?
Look at her. She's like, Mom, they're all watching. I
Are
can't bite you here. They'll know. They'll know all of our secrets.
Yeah, you see the ears. Okay, so back to the team. Okay, so Jasmine, yes, yes, you're supposed to use them for you and everybody else and to help you navigate and all of the above. Yeah, I'm so sorry, meditational moments. She said her mom passed suddenly.
I thought it seemed as something was pretty quick, or I don't know. It was a little weird how it
Yeah.
happened.
She says she's a flight attendant and you were spot on.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Pauline Shilton. As I'm planning on building a community as part of my business, I've been trying to decide whether to host in person events or online events. I'm assuming her question is which one should she host, in person or online?
In person.
Wonderful.
I will say
PM.
this too: the frequency of the in person. Don't apply pressure to how often you need to do it, whatever that means. So in person, but like I don't know what work you're doing, but like with I could say I had a brick and mortar business for years and I would do full moon events and new moons and stuff. I kept up with the lunar calendar, if you will. But if you're not feeling up to it, don't force it because I do feel like the online thing is kind of like a buffer between you and the outside world. So just be aware of that.
Yeah. Thank you. PM, my dad has been gone for 4 years now. Does he see the implosion of family and how they're treating me? Your dad sees all, okay? And things will eventually level out, and that's for PM.
Yes.
High Priestess Tati. Hi, I've been extremely depressed and trying to grow through my experiences for the past few years. A lot of trauma, and I'm still young. What is the divine advice for me right now? And am I meant to be lost?
I'm gonna say that I don't mean this in any condescending sort of way. You're not depressed. You're going through the upheavals of life, and it can feel like rock bottom from time to time. I'm not saying, and I'm gonna feel like a better help commercial. Your feelings are valid, right? Like I'm not saying you're not hurting, but I think that we use depression sometimes loosely, going, I feel like I'm depressed. Um, could you convey it that way? Sure. But I do feel like it's like, gee, I didn't think growing up that this feeling would be this heavy or things would be that heavy as an adult, right? So don't think that you're depressed and you're never going to come out of this. This isn't a big lesson for you, Seven of Pentacles, right? Needing to invest more in yourself and be a little more carefree about how you address things. And don't be so, I will forever say it to a lot of people. We are our own worst critic more than anybody else can be. And I do think you're kind of riding yourself hard going, I could have done this or that and I chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
Just easy for me to say, let it go. But change the way, thank you, Spirit, change the way you're seeing it. Not depressed, but learning. Not why is this happening to me, but what is this trying to teach me? Change the mindset. Change your mind, you change your life.
Yeah, I'm also getting to for you, High Priestess Tati. You haven't become who you're supposed to be, right? So when we think about, I don't know, a car being built, right? There are a lot of parts that go into the building and engineering of a vehicle, and you're no different. So give yourself an incredible amount of grace. You're not who you are yet. I hope that makes sense. With a name like High Priestess Tati, you kind of know, right? You're dough right now, and the universe is kneading and shaping and reshaping, right? Give yourself grace. You're still young. Okay. I'm gonna move over to newer, and I have people certain people asking multiple questions, but I want to make sure we get to everyone.
Right.
So I'm going to go to Detta Murph. Um, they were married in 1022, divorced in February of 25. Pouring into myself more than ever lately, and they'll be 62 this year. Woohoo! Will I ever find my true life's partner?
You know, I think you will find the companion that is meant to be. Um, don't get caught up on, excuse me, what that looks like. Um, it's not, it's gonna, it, I think some people tend to lean into what marriage looks like and whatnot. But don't look at it like that. Like, make sure you don't have an expectation or what around what your true, right, quotations, life's partner looks like to you. Because it could be somebody that you just really enjoy their company, but you find this time for you to be so self-healing and soothing that you don't, I'm gonna say you don't need somebody there. You're coming out of, even though it wasn't a super long marriage, um, it was long enough for you to have to heal from. So it may not look the way that you anticipate it to look when you, it's just they're kind of going, life partner, my true life partner. And spirit is like, true life partner? Now hold on a second here, right? Not the way you see it. So I will tell you, you will find your quote person, but not your quote true life partner based upon what your expectation that surrounds that in this moment. You're going to see it change.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You want to switch up?
Sure, sure. All
I
right.
left off at.
That's a Murph, right? I see that. Okay.
Yeah,
Somehow I'm actually keeping up. This kind of stuff usually throws me for a loop, but I'm on it. Woo!
go
All
for it.
right. Let's see. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember you using this name before, Alex. So the Pauline Chilton Show. I like it. She says, I asked earlier, but I'm putting this question in the chat again for visibility. What will be coming up for my mother's living situation?
I don't know. Why do you love to go to a psychic and them ask you? I don't know.
That would be
Um,
pretty funny.
Nothing's gonna change. I'm feeling it's gonna stress you the hell out. If you can, you need to cut the cord as soon as possible because you're too connected to the outcome. It's almost like you're babysitting your mother or hovering over her. So if I were you, I would live and let live, Polly. It's
I
almost like you
second.
have expectations over how she should be living her life. She gave birth to you, not the other way around. So let her live. I say that with a smile. And Marilyn, thank you so much for moderating. Okay, so that's my answer.
All right, and I was gonna second that emotion, so
Yeah,
extra stamp on that one.
yeah.
Um, so Manizza, because oh my God, we know like I can't pronounce names, and my apologies. Says, "Hello, I'm divorced. What or who is coming towards me and when?" And that is a bit of a broad question. So, Alex, I'm going to ask on their behalf, and Spirit saying it's okay to do this, for you to pick this one thing, or for your angels to pick that one thing that they need, they can be aware of in this moment of what's most importantly coming towards them at this time.
This particular person, and I'm speaking to you, Muniza, you have shitty expectations, right? Like your expectations, I feel like, are very traditional. And then when you start meeting people and marrying people, you're not necessarily reconciling, right? So, in other words, whatever your expectations are, you're not necessarily cross referencing who you're meeting with those expectations. What's happening is that your heart is taking over, your heart is leading you down the aisle, your heart is mucking you up, Right? So now it's like, okay, so this person didn't make it. Expectations are still here. Do you see somebody else coming along? So what I would do if I were you is take those expectations and stick them in your pocket and just live life and have fun.
I love
Uh,
it.
will you get married again? Yeah, I'm seeing two more times. Sorry. Right? But I'm seeing you'll probably get married two more times. The next marriage could be shotgun, right? You may know them 3, 4 months and y'all just throw caution to the wind and woohoo if you could do stuff like that. But I feel like you know what you want, but I feel like you don't know what you need. That's the easiest way for me to say it. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you start getting out there, you start dating, you get starting getting experiences, you get to go through the trials and tribulations, that's going to bring you closer to what you need. And then when you figure out what you need, you'll vibrate at what you need, you'll attract what you need, and then you'll live happily ever to the next season. Happily ever. I hope that makes sense. That was for you, Munisa.
All right. Again, another broad question, and I've got an immediate answer from Spirit, which I think is funny. But Yanina Novus says, "Will I find love?"
Yes.
Easy enough. Uh, okay, so your soul's journey. Okay, we went over that one. I'm looking here.
Yeah.
Am I going backwards? Hold on.
Oh, your soul's journey. We answered that when we weren't live. So you did the right thing
Yeah.
by taking your kid's dad to court for child support. I say this lovingly. You need to set better boundaries and police those boundaries. Stop letting people, including your kid's dad, walk all over you. Angels are saying you need to develop a better backbone because you allow people to walk all over your heart because your heart is so sensitive and pure, and I love that. You know what I mean? But this world is not built for a sensitive and pure heart. So I say this to you: toughen up. Your kids come first, and outside of your kids, you're gonna have to be this silverback barracuda, as in their best protector, their best defender, their best teacher, their best student. Okay. So kid's dad, hell yeah, you should have taken his ass to court like many moons ago. That was for your soul's journey. Nicole,
Yeah,
do you have a follow up?
I do actually. When when you said you're gonna have to toughen up, I didn't cringe, but Spirit's like, "Oh God, you just hit a trigger button." Um, yes, in this world, right? Like I'm not one to coddling people, but here I go. I'm actually gonna do it for like the first time in years. I 110% agree with everything Alex said, but I will say to you, there's a time and a place to get on the emotional level with your children, right? Or something to that effect. But when it comes to your survival, and I'm not saying live in survival mode, but you have to know when to draw that line in the sand that says, this is a time for love and this is time for fuck you because I got to take care of me and my own. So learn how to balance the two in between, but 110% agree with Alex on that.
Yeah. The thing that I love about Nicole is that we get the same message, and she is a lot more polished than I am. I'm gonna punch you in the gut with the truth and be like, "What you crying for?" Right? But Nicole is like, "So what she meant was," right? So thank you.
Let me
I
shine
just
that
love
up for
that.
you. Just
I
a
love,
smidge. Because like my
yeah.
angels, like I swear to God, like I could see them just going, oh God.
Yeah. I strive to be more softer, divine, feminine, but I'm still a work in progress.
Oh my God, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, Miss
It's like
Cross,
good
I
cop,
love you.
bad cop.
Yeah, say again.
It's like good cop, bad cop, right? Like it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I'm gonna be the one to chase you down and beat your ass because you made me run. Right? No, I'm
I'm
just
just
kidding.
more pissed off now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna throw this one to you, Nicole, from Kersha Hester. Hey, Kersha and Miss Cross, I love you, and thank you for joining. For Kersha, will I get a promotion? and raise soon at my current job.
So, I want to go, yeah, you're going to get a promotion. Yeah, you're going to get a promotion. Um, but here's the quip to this. I don't think you're going to stay there. Like there's something about this that goes your raise is coming from somewhere else and your promotion might come from where you are. But like look, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords. Um your promotion, this is crazy. Like you're going places, you're doing things. Like this is almost like having two jobs, and like in some weird way, like you get like a your title goes to king of pancakes on one side, and then you're doing something else on the other side, and you get a bonus for money you weren't anticipating. And you're like, well, how the hell did that happen over here? Like there's something very dual about this energy that comes in. Like where you would expect it to come from, it doesn't come from there. So I don't know if you're in the star, like you don't see it coming, but you're going to get exactly what you need, but it's not going to come from the source in which you gather it to be. And literally the tower, the star, the tower, the four of swords. And it probably at some point, and at April of, hold on, April of this year, you may have had to make some sort of choice. Spirit's only going to let you hang out in this in between path for so long. So if you've got like two things happening, or even they're saying talks, conversations, or negotiations around something, um, the second option, whatever that means to you, is going to be more fulfilling. So you got something interesting happening, but I like the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Swords at the end of it all.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So her promotion or raise, but she's not going to be there. So it sounds like it's just going to be through another job that she advances, correct?
Well, yeah, no, but like it's, I feel like the promotion comes from where she is, but the raise is coming from somewhere else. It's like, oh, here's your accolades here. Yes, we'll slap a nameplate on your desk of king of pancake making.
Mm-hmm.
But then over here, it's like, we're not going to give you a title, but we're going to give you money. It's a weird, I don't know what all she's got going on, but it's not coming from the likely source.
Okay.
They're not
Perfect.
going hand in hand, is really, I guess, what I mean. It's strange.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. I feel like she's undecided whether or not
Two
she
of
still wants
Pentacles.
to be there. Like she's straddling the fence. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you think if you're busting your tail feathers and they're like, your reward is we're gonna call you this name and we're not even gonna so much as send you donuts on Sunday morning. You're gonna be like, well, great, you gave me a title, but why the hell am I here? You're not paying me more. You're not. So that is where someone I think would question their worth, and it's like, well, I can go over here. I won't have a title, but I'm gonna make more. So it's just an unlikely source kind of thing. The title
Yeah.
and the money just may not go together.
Right. Okay. I will take the next one, Lisa Donahue. My mom passed away 7 months ago. Does she have any messages about the current situation we're going through with our father? Let him go. I do feel like Lisa Donahue, I feel like with your dad, there could be some early onset dementia or something. I'm not a doctor. This is not a diagnosis, but what I'm also getting to there, he's lost without your mom, right? And I feel like you guys should honor him for as long as he's here. Um, yeah, I know. You should honor him as long as he's here, and provide him with as much freedom as possible. That's for Lisa Donahue. Maisha, we answered your question. Melanie May, can you please guide me when I am from everywhere all at once while not technically being from here? I hope this makes sense.
I
Please
get
let
it.
me know if I need to clarify. Okay, you can take that one. Thanks, Joyce.
Um, I'm trying to
And
find a way to put this into words.
thank you, Tabby. Go ahead. Sorry, Nicole.
No, 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 you're good. And Thabby, thank you. Yes, thank you. So it's like it's like one of those questions of like, where did the universe come from? Where did the asteroids come from? Where did the planets come from? Space, all the things. Like we are a part of everything, and yet we belong to nothing. Very. I mean, it's not even esoteric. It's just way out there, right? Like I don't know, some other dimension. Um, to me, that feels like a question. It's something I've gone through some. If you're familiar with the Council of Light and you start to realize your place in the spiritual world, what happens to us, where do we go, how we can be a part of so many things and yet not be tied to any one thing. We're having this human experience. We're not yet human. We're not yet, a being on the other side of things. Um, What I will say to you is this. Spend a lot of deep time in meditation. Like I really do love this question, even though it feels like very scattered, because there's more to see, there's more to understand, there's more beyond where we are in this moment. There's more than just spirituality. It's like when I've done some work, I found myself connected to Mary Magdalene. And it's like, so where did I come from that point forward? Where did I go back in time to that? How do I belong to those things that are very different than we can understand here in this 3D experience? Go deep, do some, to me, it's like soul retrieval work, Akashic records kind of work, like really go way into, we talk about heritage and history here in the human form. Where is our heritage and history on this ethereal form or realm that we belong to, right? Somewhere. So I would say to you, really dig into Akashic records, dig into past lives, dig into significance of those things as they show up for you. Meditate a lot, talk to your guides, talk to your higher self, allow those things to come through, and don't spirit, I love it. Don't question your sanity as you explore it, because some things are like going to be like, what the hell does this mean? Like I had an experience a couple years ago where I thought, am I losing my mind? Because most people would probably be like, hey, admit her, she's crazy. But then as other things progressed, I'm like, I'm anything but crazy. This is very real. And I think you're hitting a very spiritual part of your life that's going to transform the way you live the rest of it. Don't attach it to a certain way of being here in this human experience. I hope that answers where you were going with that.
Okay. Yeah, that one threw me for a loop. So sorry, I'm scrolling. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Miss Croft. Okay. Nicole, you want to take the next? That was
Yeah, I can
mm,
take that one. My
inspiration.
question to you is I just feel you're upset, right? And I get that. And I'm going to tell you that I've actually had I'm going to say the joy and the privilege of working with many trans kids over the years as I had my brick and mortar stores. Um, and I'm going to ask you this. What is it about it for you that is upsetting? What is it about it for you that has you very worried or very concerned? And now we can also look at it from the spirits going, the world around them, because the world can be a very cruel place. But I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't matter what, quote, gender they would be a part of or choose to be of. The world doesn't change. I just had something randomly fall in my house. Okay. It
Uh,
doesn't matter
uh-huh.
what they present themselves to be, because one, they're still them, and two, there's always gonna be, I'm gonna call it evil in the world. Um, you did not go wrong anywhere. Your child has a soul agreement.
Except for that question, Miss
Well,
Croft.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
except
I
for that
agree.
question, right?
That's
Can I chime in here? I'm so
please,
sorry,
please.
Nicole.
No, no, do your thing.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this one for Miss Croft. I understand that growing up in a traditional environment, you know, we were taught things like, you know, president, vice president, teacher, student, right? We were conditioned with these labels, right? And then all of a sudden, someone was brave enough to says, "Hey, you know what? Screw these labels. This is who I am. I require new labeling." It's not about the labeling, it's about the person, right? So whether they're trans, whether they're a panda, whether they're a cupcake, love them all the same, right? When you start talking, where did I go wrong? And I understand the shock and how much of how cognitively opposing that is, as in you gave birth to this gender and now this gender is converting to this gender. My angels just said, well, if you gave birth to a rabbit, wouldn't you love the rabbit all the same? Right? Why does your love need a gender? Why? Right? It's your child. And I understand the discomfort, right? As in, because you've been conditioned, you've been programmed to think, boy, girl. You know what I mean? But this is your child. You've also been conditioned to love your child. So love your child regardless of what the new conditioning, the new programming, the new gender says. Love your child. Okay. Um, Forget the world. And I say this to you with love. Okay. You know, there's some gorilla shit coming behind it, right? You're worried about the world, but you're being the world. You're being the world, right? So love your child, period. The end. I don't care if your child wants to be Zeus, right? I don't give a shit. Love your child, okay? It's almost like your child committing a crime, right? Say, for instance, your child, God forbid, got a DUI. Will you stop loving him because he or she, them made a mistake? I wouldn't, right? Mistakes are a part of life. Ooh, child, my angels, we not going there. Because my angels are like, what have you done in your life that is up under that rug?
Those stones and glass houses, right?
Right. And one of my absolute favorite sayings from Jesus himself, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Right. So Miss Croft, you know how I feel about you. I love you. I love you. I just need you to love your child and fuck the rest. Okay. All right.
Second that. I'm gonna let you take the next question. One, my bladder is
Okay.
hurting. Two, I need
Okay.
some more tea. Three, I need a charger. So you do your thing and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. YNAF. Thank you for the 9.99. Thank you, Miss Croft. I hope that helped. As we are answering questions, you guys are more than welcome to confirm and provide additional feedback. Just please be patient with us because there's a lot going on. A lot going on. Um, Okay, I see the follow-up, Miss Cross. I just want to make sure I didn't screw her up because of the guys I was. Yeah, that's not your responsibility because you can be the example, but she has to receive the example. So, and this whole idea of gay, right? Homosexuality, we have to stop thinking that it's a political choice or it's who they are, right? It's who they are, right? I identify with a lot of masculine energy. I am just, I have a lot of masculine energy, right? But I'm heterosexual, right? But this masculine energy just lives inside of me. So for our children, for our brothers or sisters or whomever, whatever it is that they identify with, we have to be a lot more loving and accepting, even if we don't understand. Okay. But you're making this about you when you're like, oh, did I? No, she's living her life. Let her live her life. Be her biggest supporter and her biggest cheerleader. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So now I'm going through other questions. These are free questions, but absolutely, if you wanted to leave a tip or donation, I'm not gonna fight you. Um, I am reading, and I'm sorry, guys, if I'm going out of order. And I'm trying to get to people who, newer people who haven't asked questions. So Miss RJ, will my life partner find me? Scorpio here. You're a little blocked, darling. Miss RJ, it kind of feels like there's a heavy emotion over you. And by emotion, I really mean desperation, right? As in, where is he? Where are they? You know what I mean? That level of um blockage will cover your light and clog up your attraction level, right, from your heart. So you need to not necessarily ask and wonder, will he find me? I need for you to more so believe that your life partner will find you, whether it's male, female, or whomever. Okay. So the answer is yes, ultimately, but in order to make that happen, you have to remove that block of desperation that's coming over you. And that's Miss RJ. Okay. Um, Mandy, I need more of a direct question. What's in my near future? That's way too broad. Okay. Lisa Lee, my question is, will I speak with my crush? He's my oh child. Your crush is crushing. Um, I feel like your crush, and this is for Lisa Lee. I feel like your crush feels the same way about you that you do for him, do with him. Yeah, that you do with him. He's just as nervous and scared, say for instance, to confront you. But what you can do is maybe, my angels is crazy. This is for Lisa Lee. My angel said, this is a felony, by the way. This is a federal offense, what I'm about to tell you.
Oh my God. Do not take advice from.
But they're saying something like, okay, I'm not advising you to go and take his mail. That's not what I'm
Oh
doing.
my God.
But if it's something like a circular or something, you can go over and be like, hey, they put this in my mailbox. I think it's yours. Does it belong to you? Right? Or if they deliver a package to your home, say for instance, the neighbor's package the neighbor who the package belongs to, take it to your crush anyway and be like, oh, hey, is this yours? And it was like, no, that should go across the street. And you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. How you doing? Okay. So that's for Lisa Lee. Okay. But yeah, we don't want you
I
to come to.
instantly wanted to go, oh my God, I could take these two and beat their heads together and be like, just start talking to each other.
I know. It's hot. You felt the heat, right?
I did. I was like, they're
Yeah.
both like, oh my God, I can't. Oh, what if you start talking and you all get along and you go for ice cream? Enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It is thick. But see, the if we ever hung out, Nicole, I have no problem walking up to guys and be like, "How you doing? You single? This my friend Nicole. She live over here. What you?" I will bring them to you. I am an asshole in that in that respect. And they will be good looking or whatever. I ain't gonna bring you no Humpty Dumpties. You know what I mean? But
Okay. I respect that.
I am very assertive and aggressive when it comes to matchmaking, right? You know what I mean? So if we ever hang out and go get you some drinks anywhere, just know that you're gonna walk
Um,
away with like 5 numbers, 2 dates, and a dog.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm booking that ticket now.
Yeah. Thank you, Melanie May. You are so freaking
Oh,
sweet. Thank
sweetheart,
you.
thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, so mahogany, why do I feel like I don't know where I'm going in life?
Most of us don't, Spirit says. Most of us
Yeah,
don't.
but she hasn't figured it out. Like, where are you going in life?
Spirit says where you wanna go.
Right, like
You're in
figure
the
it out.
driver's seat. You were in the
Yeah,
driver's seat.
figure it out. Lisa Lee is like, ma'am, the postal office has cameras. No, okay, we already scratched that advice. We got you out of jail for free, and it wasn't the post office, it was your mailbox, like,
The
outside
mailbox,
your
no.
house.
I
I
mean,
mean,
they might have a
your
Ring
apartment.
camera, but be like, "Shit, I wasn't even thinking. I had so much stress on my plate."
Yeah,
Like, straight up walked to the wrong mailbox. Things happen. I returned it. End of the story.
yeah. So how can I soften my heart again? Who is this? Tabby. Hey girl, hey. Scorpio sun, Cancer, I guess rising Gemini moon. She's Gemini moon like you. Closed
Ooh,
off my
girl, I
love
feel
for
you.
4 years since divorce. How can I soften my heart again? Sidebar, 21 years old. I moved to the US. I was 21. Big milestone and feeling a shift. Well, congratulations for, I guess, your 21-year anniversary for being in a big old US of A.
Yeah.
So, Nicole, being a Gemini moon, how could she open her heart again? This is Tabby.
I'm gonna tell you, like, you gotta learn to love yourself, and that's a scary place to be, and I don't know if you have kids or not, but I'm gonna be honest, like, for me, looking at my daughter, learning how to be present and aware and finding gratitude in the moment, for life's little blessings. Like, I bought my house a few months ago, and just being in a space that makes me feel good, or being outside enjoying things, or meditating, or watching my kiddo grow, and finding just simple beauties and things. Like, honest to God, that was probably one of the biggest milestones for me in opening up my heart, or trying to anyhow, was just reconnecting with the things that I felt were safe. Because Gemini, right? We can be very big, we can be very small, we can go back and forth. So finding something that I felt comfortable enough in to use baby steps, really. And love, I think a lot of humans, we romanticize it all the time and don't realize that, like, love isn't everything that we do. We are love in general. So if you're building to want to work toward, or you're wanting to build to work towards something romantic, what is it about your life now that you love, right? Being present and aware in the moment, embracing that in a whole open-hearted sort of way. Because I think the first steps of it starts with something that is safe, being our Gemini selves. I'm learning how to communicate that. Even spirit's telling you to write about it, at this time. That if, going, hey, I had this great day and I felt great during this and I loved doing that, or being a part of this, or this is how it made me feel. Start with self-expression to kind of soften it. It's like, you think about it, if you go to the zoo and you see a crocodile, do you wanna hug the crocodile? Probably not. But if you go and you see that cute little fuzzy panda, you're like, "Oh, how soft, sweet, fluffy, I wanna hug him." Find the things that make you wanna go, "Ooh, I wanna hug that." And I don't say latch onto it, but dig into the impression that it leaves you with, feeling comfortable in things, and, like, that open you, that make you wanna be softer.
Cool. Okay, you want to find a question for me?
Sure, what that was Tabby, you said?
That was Tabby. Yeah.
Alright, let me look. Oh boy, I got behind the 8 ball when I had to take a mom bladder break.
Yeah,
Um,
I also added your contact information. Anybody who wants to schedule a reading with Nicole or subscribe to her channel, check out some of her videos. I did include that information in the chat.
alright, so Kizzy, says, "Hey, career-wise, what is in my near future?"
Not a damn thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
um, you need to. So I feel like Kizzy, you're heavy into routine, right? You go to work, go to the gym, come home, go work, to the gym, to come home. Right? And I feel like you need to break the monotony. I feel like you're in a prime position for something fresh and new. Spirit is also saying too, you need to engage spirit more often, right? Meditate more, reach out to spirit and stuff like that. There's also saying too, you need to take your time with things because you rush too much, right? It's almost like you're rushing through life. Um, yeah, I'm hearing. And this is for Kizzy. And if you want to leave me confirmation, I'd appreciate that. But I'm hearing you thinking, I got to do more. There's so much more I could be doing. What should I be doing? And the universe is saying to you, you're living way too far ahead in the future. You need to love where you're at and love what you're doing right now.
My guys go, knock it the fuck off.
Yeah. So
Settle down.
yeah, it's pandas are not vicious creatures. Any animal in the wild could be vicious, but no, pandas are not. No, I don't take that as disrespect. Melanie May, no, they're not disrespectful. They're little teddy bears who, anybody in the wild would be protective and defensive and things like that. But no. Okay.
So
No. Go ahead.
there's another question, Alex, here from a person whose name is What If on there. I'm going to direct this to you because I've got, I don't know, some feeling about this and I'm kind of curious. But it says, how far away is the financial energy that I have been attracting?
As far as you perceive it?
There's something a little mysterious, and what if I don't mean this in any weird way or condescending way or shady way, but there's something very interesting about that energy that comes in, and it's kind of like
It's a trick
other,
question.
yeah, it's otherworldly.
It is. I
And
feel it.
you feel what I'm saying, right? Like there's something in the pit that goes, hold the hell up here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this in a very keen sense. You need to take a look at oneself. Because the what if to this has a lot of avenues, and I don't feel like there's a whole lot of integrity or honesty behind that if I'm going to be completely blunt.
Mm. So make that make sense? So what do you mean? You mean that the way in which they earn money is not honest and upright? Like, what does that mean?
Something about the communication isn't honest. There's
Oh
a
yeah,
very
because it's a trick question because they
well,
already have
even right. Well, even beyond that, like there's a Alex. I don't know if I can't speak for all of us as readers or intuitives, but after 35 years of this, there's a certain feeling that is like your intuition is like hold the phone, right? Well, let me put this on hold for a hot second and let's talk about where this is going to go. And I don't mean again, I mean no disrespect, but I would almost see this as I don't believe that this person is not a person, but there's something that ain't right about it.
I I feel like
This is like dual life, dual personality, dual momentary in the second of where does this go if this happens to play out this way. There's a lot of mind games that are happening in that.
I feel like is the intent here, right? To stump us. You know what I mean? So if you're okay with it, can we move on?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I believe that is a part of the intent. Intent is to stump, right? To spin our wheels. To
What I will say this, and then we'll be happy to move on. If you, there are things that I won't necessarily say in a live feed because I feel like there's a time and a place. And if you think that you've stopped me, I've got billions of years of intuitive development on top of that. So thank you for your time and your question.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Let's see. Kizzy, we got you.
Yeah. PM. I agree. PM said there's a number of odd questions from What If. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one I don't know, that one caught my attention hardcore.
We love you too.
There's something
Meditational
coming.
moments.
Okay, here we go. I like this question. I'm digging this. Jasmine, Jasmine James, welcome aboard. Is there a reason, Alex, why her gifts are most active at night? She says that she doesn't really understand what seeing apparitions or past life flashes have to do with anything, or how that helps her as well as others.
What?
All right, let's break it down. I like it. I
Yeah,
take
no.
this.
At night is because your conscious mind is tired, so it has, less energy to interfere. Past life stuff, and I don't really understand that part of the question. I'm just going to be honest.
So the past life, like, was she saying apparitions or past life flashes, how what do they have to do with anything? Your soul has an agreement, right? We've had some previous experience. Have you ever experienced deja vu? We've had previous experience. Your past life is a window to the worlds in which you've lived, where you've learned things. The one thing I can say is like growing up, my mom, as an example, she was always very intrigued by the Native American culture, and she had all these statues and dolls and themes of, a home interior in our house. And I finally drug her off and convinced her one night to go to a past life regression with me. And she's not a believer, but her beliefs are different than mine. And she comes out of that and she's bawling hysterically. And I was like, "What's the matter with you?" And she's like, "Oh my God." She's like, I understand now." And I'm like, "What do you get?" She's like, "I was a head of a Native American tribe, and I watched all my people get killed." There's a reason she was drawn into that culture in this existence, because she was tied to that. So it starts to break down what you've seen, your traumas, what's embedded in your, call it your DNA, call it your spiritual soul. But having an awareness of those things, right, helps you to navigate this life, because we come here to have an experience and to do the work. So you're certainly not going to not benefit from exploring those. You're learning more. So the more you know, the better off you are. Put it that way.
Yeah. The other thing too is universe is what, 13.7 billion years old.
Might be, I don't know.
So there's a shit ton of information out there. You know what I mean? Every now and then your spirit just brushes against some information that could be millions of years ago. You know what I mean? Why they pop up randomly, to me, I would take them as being a symbol for something unique. It's basically a message from the universe that will help guide you in some way in this particular lifetime, right? So, as an example, if I had a premonition that I'm drowning, I could have drowned 8 lifetimes ago, and my angels may be warning me, "Hey, don't drink a lot of water at night." You know what I mean? But it'll be up to me to associate the past message with my current situation so that I can help myself or someone.
Alex, I'm going to be so cheesy and quirky and stupid Scorpio right now. Melanie May says, I am also truly grateful for your connection. You two vibe phenomenally together. So dope. We have found love in a hopeless place, Alex, with our vibe. All right, now that I'm done being stupid.
Thank
Let's
you,
see.
Melanie May. Hold on. What if has a comment? He said, I have some of the same gifts as you, beautiful energies. My questions were not intended to be weird. Blame it on my lack of experience with asking questions. They were attempt to hone my question. Here's the thing, what if? Okay. Um, Here's what I'm getting. It's almost, and this I feel like is your energy in a nutshell, because when I read people, they hide themselves, right? Because they want to see if I'm legitimate. And I think that's what both Nicole and I are picking up on, is that you're like, oh, are they going to be able to see me? Are they going to be able to detect that I'm spiritual as well? Okay. Nobody should be sitting on this live or any other live hiding. Like,
Sorry.
you want us to answer your questions, you want us to tap in, you want us to tune in. So the intent to hide is unnecessary, and when we see it, Me personally, I discard it, because if you're hiding yourself from me, I don't need to talk to you. You see what I mean? So I appreciate your response, what if, but just be regular, just be a human, just ask the question. I don't give a shit if you're a warlord. I don't give a shit if you're the good lord. Okay? Just ask the freaking question and stop hiding. I love you. Okay.
I'm gonna follow that up with, um, I don't give a shit. I will call you out. That's maybe where I'm gonna tell you. It's kind of funny, Alex, the duality in that, because earlier I softened the message and you're like, ah, no, we don't do that on this side. I'll hunt you down, chase you down after you made me run after your ass, right? I'm like,
Right.
well, and here, God bless you, you're being so sweet about it. And I'm like, hi, mofo, and I'm gonna come rip it. It's like Scooby Doo. Like, I'll rip
Yeah.
that mask right off your face. Let's talk about it. Let's ask why you're hiding. Let's get down to
Yeah.
brass tacks.
We transferred. You're now bad cop. I'm good cop.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that
bad
was it.
cop
Eddie
on.
Murphy and Mel Gibson. What movie am I thinking of? I don't fucking know.
Not Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Mel
That's
Gibson and
it.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, you're thinking. So you're being Mel Gibson. Good. Good. Yeah. Um. So where do we go from here? It's 8:57. For
Um,
everybody on the call, I fucked up because we were on for like an hour and a half and we weren't actually live. Okay. So
right.
here's what I want to do is, first off, thank you so much for everybody who was here and who asked the question, and hopefully you got that answer. My sincerest apology again. Nicole and I are going to be setting these up perhaps on a monthly basis as schedules permit. But at this time, I wanted to hand it off to you, Nicole, to say, you want to wrap it here? You want to maybe do another 30 minutes? Like, how do you feel?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My voice is raspy. Actually, I mentioned earlier, before I think we got live or whatever. A little bit of a cold. Numbers at the top: 88 people, 88 likes. Just gonna throw those eight eights out there.
Ah, that's
Um,
so awesome. I just saw that.
yeah, all the numbers. But I do think we can wrap it up. We again, guys, be patient with us. This is new for me, Alex. We're trying to figure out how to do it all. And again, kudos and thank you, Alex, for doing the work to set this up for us, because I'm me and technology, man. It's a whole thing. Um,
Girl,
but so
I'm in
cool that you did
IT and I was
this.
struggling.
Oh God, I would have been calling you crying, going, "I can't do this like this, Alex. Can
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do a one-on-one somehow?" I would have lost it. So, yeah, let's figure out something here in the near future in June. Super cool. I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us this evening. You all are amazing. Thank you for the love that you showed me over these years. The same for Alex on her behalf. For Snowflake joining us. Love her. She's so cute.
Thank you. That's my
And
boo.
listen,
She softened me.
you've taught her how to behave in public. She did not bite. She's
Nope,
got good manners.
she didn't.
She
Very,
got good
you know
manners.
what? I'm gonna go hug my boo boo.
Well, okay. Well, thank you to everybody. We'll schedule this again. I'm
Yeah,
just grateful to have this experience. And I'll tell you, we were talking about opening up the heart space, Alex. I've been very like in my own bubble in the past couple of years to find someone that I feel comfortable enough, because Scorpios and trust, man, that's a whole what do you want from me, right?
yeah, yeah.
To be able to be in this collaborative space and be comfortable enough and vibe in that. I'm very grateful and at love with that feeling. So thank you for that.
No worries. Also for everyone too, if you're wanting to contact Nicole or myself, in the description box of this live, all of our contact information is out there. On June 7th, I will be hosting a Scorpio hangout on Zoom. I did not put that link in there, but I can. For any Scorpio, well, it's actually opened up for all signs. So anybody who wants to join, at least I will be on there to continue the madness. You guys are
And
awesome and great and wonderful. Go ahead, Nicole.
I was gonna say, I tell you, for anybody who's not joined you for the hangouts, I did a Scorpio hangout last year with you, and it was super cool. We got to share experiences. So if you've not had the opportunity to do that with Alex, she's given you guys her time and just, that's that energy and that love, and she's given out there. So be receptive to it and enjoy that time with her and get involved.
Yes. And on behalf, look, I'm forcing her up now. She's sleepy.
Oh,
Yeah, she's sleepy. She's like, come on, mama. All
look
right.
at
Well, thank you guys again. So on behalf of Nicole and Snowflake and myself, I'll see you guys at the Scorpio hangout. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Much love to you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.